On December 2nd, 1943, the port of Bari in Italy is packed with Allied shipping, fuel and ammunition. Just after dark, German bombers come in low over the harbour and turn it into an inferno. 17 ships are hit in less than 20 minutes. But the destruction in the port is only the beginning, because hidden deep among the cargo is something far more dangerous than fuel or explosives. And once released, the war threatens to cross a line that Europe has feared for decades. Bombs fall quickly across the harbour. Within minutes, ships are ablaze. Explosions ripple from vessel to vessel as the entire port begins to burn. As debris rains down across the docks, men are thrown into the water. Rescue efforts begin almost immediately, yet as the night goes on, something doesn't add up. Some of the survivors show no visible injuries, no obvious wounds. Then, hours later, their condition begins to change. Skin begins to blister, eyes inflame. Breathing becomes difficult. It soon becomes clear something else has been released into the harbour. At first light, German reconnaissance aircraft sweep over Bari. The harbour is shattered, but it isn't the destruction that draws attention. Interception stations begin picking up Allied signals. Fragmented, urgent, describing symptoms that don't match the blast or fire. To German analysis, it feels familiar, not from this war, but from the last. The conclusion settles in. Mustard gas, not delivered by the Luftwaffe, but released from within the harbour itself. That changes everything. A report is rushed to Berlin. The Allies had chemical weapons in Bari, dangerously close to the front. In the weeks that follow, the picture sharpens. References to specialist units, protective gear appearing in greater numbers, precautions woven into routine messages. Each detail small on its own, but together forming a clear picture. This is no longer a question of capability. It is a question of intent. And with pressure mounting in Italy, the decision is made, not to wait, but to act first. Limited chemical use is authorised. On the Italian front, German artillery begins firing a new kind of ammunition, 150mm shells filled with mustard gas. At first the attacks are limited, then they begin to spread. Heavier guns extend the range, reaching valleys, defensive lines and supply routes, while Nebelwerfer rockets follow, blanketing entire sectors in seconds. The vapour clings to the ground, settling into trenches, dugouts and river crossings, lingering, waiting. Troops scramble for gas masks, but some never reach them in time. The attacks intensify as phosgene follows, a choking agent that destroys the lungs, leaving men to suffocate where they stand. Some collapse within minutes, others stumble blindly through the gas, unable to breathe. And then something new appears, Taban. It acts faster and more violently, vision blurring, muscles seizing, lungs choking. Medics struggle to understand what they are facing as the nature of the battlefield shifts. It is no longer just contested, but contaminated. RAF Bomber Command and the US Army Air Forces begin preparing their own chemical payloads. American aircraft are loaded with 100-pound bombs designed to spread contamination across wide areas, alongside larger 1,000-pound M70 bombs intended for saturation strikes, while RAF crews ready British chemical ordnance to be delivered in parallel. Targets are not chosen for destruction, but for what comes after: Berlin, Hamburg, the Ruhr. The buildings remain standing, but inside everything changes. Gas seeps into enclosed spaces, mustard clings to walls, clothing and debris, lingering long after the attack has passed, while phosgene drifts through streets and shelters, unseen and unavoidable. Then the effects begin. Inside the industrial Ruhr, panic begins to spread. At first, families leave in the night, taking only what they can carry. By morning, the roads are filled. People move on foot, bicycles, in overloaded cars, all trying to put distance between themselves and the gas. But the gas does not stay behind. It clings to clothing, to skin, to anything it touches. Those fleeing carry it with them. What begins as an escape turns into something far worse. The roads choke with movement. Columns stretch for miles across the industrial heart of Germany. Entire districts begin to empty, and as they do, production starts to falter. Factories slow and then grind to a halt. Authorities move quickly to regain control. Orders are issued to stop the flow. Some columns are turned back, others are blocked outright, but panic has already taken hold. Clashes begin. Police units struggle to contain the crowds. Reports come in of officers attacked, some killed, as control breaks down. In response, SS and military units are deployed to key routes. In some places, warning shots are not enough. Live rounds are used. Gradually, through force, the movement is brought under control. The roads begin to clear. The flow of people is stopped. But the damage has already been done, because fear has begun to spread faster than the gas itself. By the summer of 1944, the war has changed. Battlefields are no longer just fought over, they are poisoned. Cities that once held thousands are left uninhabitable. Their streets empty as civilians flee from something they cannot see. What began as a single explosion in a crowded harbour has spread far beyond it. A hidden cargo, a deadly miscalculation. From that moment on, the air itself becomes a weapon.